Doing my best to not have you waiting. It's kind of crazy, all this new stuff. It's all learning. You guys learning? I'm learning. Do we ever stop learning? If we ever reach the place where we think we have, something's gone wrong. Okay. So this should hopefully work for us. I can do most things that I had planned with the phone instead. All right, so coming into your basic stance, let's spread out through our toes. I'm going to relax and release through the feet and ankles. Knees are soft and relaxed. Tuck your hips under in that neutral stance, of course using pelvic floor muscles. Relax the muscles of your back somewhat. And allow that relaxation to sweep up through your back, through your waist and into your belly. As you circle around all that warming, positive, healing energy all the way through each of your organs. Every single cell. Take a deep, nourishing breath in. Expand the belly with the breath and the rib cage. Collarbones lift and allow them to release back down deeper, deeper into your own inner stillness. We can raise through the rib cage. Bring the shoulders forwards, up, back and down. Shoulder blades come together, slide them down your back, bringing the spine into full alignment, crown of the head to the sky, tailbone sinks down towards the ground. One more deep breath in here. And continuing with that breathing throughout. Ensuring that we can dance for longer without fatiguing, but also fueling the muscles as we use them. And of course, making our dance all that more elegant with those smooth, fluid breaths. And we can bring to that smooth, fluid movement through hips as you slide your hips out to the side. Bring it back through center, and the weight comes through both feet and then it comes out towards one side. There's very little weight through this side here, but it is definitely a balancing, an equilibrium through both sides of the body. And as we slide out to the side here, we're utilizing each of the muscles of core. You're using belly, waist as you lengthen on one side and strengthen on the other. And you're using those muscles of the back as well. On one side lengthening and the other strengthening. You can bring your hands down towards your hips. Let's frame the hips. Let's make it soft and smooth and gentle. And if you've had a busy mind lately, let's use this as an opportunity to find that space of calm, serenity within. You could soften that movement up and let it flow freely all the way through. Bring hands up overhead, perhaps. Bringing wrists close and then take them down. Let that movement be your own medicine. Adapt the movements to suit your own body. Tune in deeper. Ask yourself, what would you really like to feel from this session? What would you really like to receive? Perhaps it's more connection to your body, your mind, your spirit. Perhaps you'd like to feel toned, relaxed, strong, comforted. supported even. Let's bring the hips into center. We're going to carry on with that slide movement out towards one side and then through the other. This time through your rib cage. Bring that fluidity through arms if you like. Soft flowing movements. Perhaps like a gentle wave. Cleansing. Warm water, or revitalizing, rejuvenating, fresh, cold water, or perhaps fluffy clouds. We can make that movement a little bit faster. And for now, just using this movement as a warm-up for muscles of arms, shoulders, elbows and wrists. And we'll look at the technique of this particular movement very soon. Let's bring the hands down by our side. So previously we had spoken about that technique called anchoring. And it's the process of using parts of your body in a gentle but very, very switched on activation in order to be able to move other parts of the body more deeply, to really focus and refine the movement on those areas, creating an illusion of isolation. I say illusion in that it's actually impossible to isolate movement through one part of the body only. You have to use your entire body to produce what looks like an isolation of one part, purely because they're attached. And so let's have a little look then, a little refresher of the isolation of low half in order to move upper half. So we just did a moment ago that movement unconsciously without too much thought. But now let's refine that movement and really look at that technique a little bit deeper. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch on our feet first of all. So we had spread out our toes in our basic stance. And now what we're going to do is we're just very gently going to grip ever so slightly. It's a tiny, tiny little grip of toes to the ground, and then feel the connection through the outside of your feet and then the inside of your feet. You're going to just raise your arches ever so slightly. You're going to feel that strong active connection to the ground now, rather than just passively being on the ground. You're actively holding onto the ground, but it's tiny, it's small, it's subtle. And the knees, we're going to keep the knees relaxed throughout, but we're going to activate through our calf muscles. So the lower legs, we can just give a little bit of a contraction in there. It's difficult to do without contracting your knees, but just be mindful of that. Try relax the knees at the same time as that little bit of contraction through lower legs. And then through upper legs, remember we said before, we want to visualize using upper thighs and relaxing the low thigh. That's going to help you with that relaxing of knee. And then the last set of muscles that we're going to use for anchoring to our low half to move the upper half is we're going to use the muscles of pelvic floor. So all the way around from the back of your body, round it, tailbone, all the way round towards just underneath your belly button. So it's that hammock-shaped set of muscles on the underside of your body. Imagine bringing those in together and up through your body. And you could, as you do that, imagine shoots, your roots, growth of new life and energy coming up through your spine and channeling out through your head. So it's this togetherness sensation, that flow of energy. So as you bring pelvic floor muscles into contraction, you're allowing that recirculation of energy. It's that flowing fluidity, that kundalini energy. And so then, from there, you feel already, you feel strong, but you feel soft. You feel ready. And then let's take that same slide movement out to the side, through center, slide to the side, through center. And slide. Center, slide. Center. Well done. So you probably feel that quite differently. If you don't worry about that. You will begin to feel that difference just through practice. So let's slide all the way out to the side. Well done. Good. Yes. So you can probably begin to then move into your full range of motion. So the entirety of your flexibility can be achieved. And you'll notice that the hips can stay pretty much still. They will perhaps sway ever so slightly, and that's normal because, as we said, it's all part of the same system. But you can, as much as possible in each movement, you can keep that still and steady. Relax your shoulders. You probably find that you're bringing so much focus there that your shoulders creep up. And the other thing that might happen is that your grip on the ground might get tighter and tighter and tighter. We don't need that so much, but just an activation. Nice. We can bring that fluidity back in. Whee. Nice, well done. All right, bring it into center. So that is anchoring through your low half in order to move your upper half more precisely, let's say, with more refinement. Okay, so let's loosen up. Just have a little joyful, relaxing shimmy. Release that all out. Oh, how good does that feel? Oh, we don't do this enough as adults. Well, we do, but not everybody. Not everybody does. Okay, let's go in. But having said that, I wish I'd done that about 10 o'clock this morning. All right, here we go. Oh, we got YouTube videos now, so you can do that if you like. So we're here. And so this time, let's release and relax your feet. This time we're going to anchor through the upper half. You're going to utilize these muscles right in here, your upper abs. And if you remember from last week, I said to you that we're going to use upper abs. And you might have been thinking to yourself, well, I could barely actually use my abs. Like, I could barely contract my abs, let alone target specific sets of abs. So what I promised you was a little tool for doing that, how you can activate those muscles straight off the bat without having too much experience of belly dance already. But even if you do have lots of experience, and even if you've done this before, chances are you've not done it in a while. And it's really, really beneficial, not only for your dancing, but throughout life. If you're strong in your core, you're protecting your back. We know that the muscles work in pairings, the front of the body and the back of the body together, and also side to side, so the right and the left side of the body work in pairings as well. It's really fantastical. The biomechanics of the human body is just amazes me. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to just use our fingers. So you can take 2 fingers in each hand, and I want you just to trace through your rib cage, okay? Find that little area where your rib cage meets. So it's probably somewhere in around there. And then you're going to come down an inch or 2, so maybe like a thumb's distance. And then you're going to use your 2 fingers, place them actually on your body. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give a little probing tap. So you're going to feel that press, 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 press. And as you do that, what happens, quite magically, what happens is your brain, your muscle sends a signal to the brain and vice versa. It comes back again and it says, something's happening here. We need to protect ourselves. Of course, we know we're not actually going to hurt ourselves, but the muscles have a natural response. It's to do with the stretch reflex that we spoke about in gentle and dynamic stretching the other day. And so, automatically, a few more times, that should be enough. Automatically, what happens when you do that is it fires the muscle up, ready for action. So you might have, like me, I've got a little mark there now, but that's fine, that goes away. And so you're switched on, your brain is already firing the signal that we want to use those muscles now. We might be ready to use those muscles now. Something is going to potentially happen that requires those muscles more than the other abs. Follow? You get me? Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense right now, it will do later on in your belly dance journey. I promise. Okay, so with that basic stance that we have, started from your feet and all the way up. But this time, of course, it's our basic stance, so we don't need to engage fully through the feet and the thighs, and calves and pelvic floor, just in your basic stance. Relax into there. So we're going to activate through those muscles. Then the next set of muscles we're using is in between your shoulder blades. Now these are the muscles that you use if, say, you're going to do a chest lift like this. And we're going to do that movement later on, possibly next time. So what you're going to do to activate these muscles is imagine doing an upright row movement at the gym. So you're pulling back like this, and what's going to happen is your shoulder blades are going to come together. The other thing that you could imagine is that you've got an orange or lemon or your favorite citrus fruit in between your shoulder blades, and you're squeezing the juice out of that fruit. How cool is that visual? So we've activated through those muscles much in the way that we did our upper abs, okay? So we're switched on there as well now, we're ready. And the third set of muscles that you're going to utilize is a tiny, tiny little bit, and I'm telling you them in this order because it's the ratio of usage is in that order. And so we've got 3 planets going direct tomorrow, just fuzzy head. Anyway, and so the front and the back of the shoulders is what you're going to utilize. Now, front and back of shoulders only, okay? So anterior and posterior deltoids. You're going to try relax medial deltoid that sits on the top of the shoulder. Medial deltoid is the one that helps you to do this. It's also the one that helps you to do this. So we want to relax there, keep the neck long, lean and relaxed, but we want to utilize front and back of shoulders. So to do that, the best thing you could do is bring the shoulders alternating forwards and back. Now, this also leads the way for a movement that we're going to do in a moment. Can you guess what it is yet? So we're coming forwards and back. You're going to feel that activating through there. Nice. You can do that a little bit faster. Literally just activating the muscles right now. Nice. Bring your hands down. Okay, so we had 3 sets of muscles through the upper half of the body, and they were your upper abs were activated in there. 1 second. Just my lighting. 1 sec. Sorry about that. And so, yeah, so we're going to be activating through here. We've done that. In between your shoulders and the front and back. Yeah, in between your shoulder blades and the front and back of your shoulders. And so, let's just work with that slide that we had. So, coming into the basic stance that we had, and now we're activated automatically through those muscles. So if you think back to how this movement felt in a moment ago when we did the warm-up section, and how it feels now, you probably find that your ability to keep your upper half centered is much stronger. But also your ability to slide into that full range of motion and use that entire distance that you're able to travel. So feeling strong through those target muscles, and then it allows you to actually soften through other muscles. And I suppose lots of belly dance is an element of, it's a kind of a juxtaposition of being strong on the one hand, but then being soft on the other. So utilizing target muscles in a contraction, but really relaxing and softening through others. Nice. So some of the muscles that of course we're softening here is as you come out towards one side, you're relaxed through that side of your waist. Through your thighs, you're relatively soft and relaxed right now. Your knees, soft and relaxed. Let's make that a little bit faster. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whee! 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring it into center. Let's reverse that. We're going to anchor this time through our low half. So this time you're using that activation through feet, the calf muscles, thighs, and your pelvic floor. So the hips are in neutral. Well done. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Help yourself to some hydration if you would like some. Wow. And then coming back in your own time, next thing we're going to enjoy is a circle of the hips. So we're going to use that slide element we did. Bring your hip out towards one side. You're going to travel your hip all the way round and back. You're going to keep the hips in neutral. Bring it out to the side. So if my hips were a coin, I've placed the coin on the ground and I've got my finger on the top and I'm sliding it around in the circle. As opposed to having a coin and releasing it to drop it onto the ground and then it does that wibble wobble thing all the way around in different directions. That's not so much what we're aiming for like that. We're going to keep the hips flat, keep them level, they're horizontal, they're parallel with the ground. Bring it out and round. So we're coming out to the side, bring it back. Out to the side, bring it forwards. And as you do that, your weight shifts to the outside of your foot. It shifts to your heels. It shifts to the outside of the other foot. And it shifts forwards towards the toes. And if you're activated gently through your feet that whole time, you're going to have this sense of balance and connection with the ground. So from the side, the hips being in neutral. Whee! Lovely. That looks so nice. It feels nice too, doesn't it? Let's bring the hips into neutral here. Let's try the other side. So this time, let's bring that activation through our upper abs, in between the shoulder blades, the front and back of shoulders. And we're going to keep then the upper half still and steady. Bring your hands into this genie pose here, or namaste for the yogis. Bring it all the way around. Beautiful. Nice. And so then from here, let's move on into a figure of 8 movement. So if we have our hips on that slide motion and we also enjoy doing that circle motion, that kind of follows on into a figure of 8. Let's keep it also on the horizontal. So let's do a horizontal figure of 8 through your hips. Again, utilizing that anchoring through your upper half, those 3 sets of muscles. And we're strong in our basic stance. Let's look first of all at a hip coming forward. So on the forward, I'm going to turn this way and then I'm going to turn back towards you in a moment. I'm going to talk to you through the mirror. So we're going to bring the hip on a diagonal and then you're going to slide forwards and allow this waist to lengthen as you bend extra through your knee. And you're going to bring the hip all the way around towards the back. Twist through your waist to do that. And then here, keeping your ribcage facing forwards, you're going to twist to bring the hip forwards to the other corner. Bring it all the way around towards the back. You're gonna slide forwards, bring it all the way around towards the back. Keep that extra bend of the knee to keep the hip line level. Usually what you'll find when people go into this movement, what they'll do is they'll kind of swing the hip up to the side. You want to keep it nice and level all the way through. Nice. Well done. Yes. So it's this twist of the waist, but also that slide action that we did a moment ago. So there's a diagonal slide and then twist round through the waist. Keep your upper half facing forwards. If you want to, you could bring your hands in towards your heart space and use that also to help you anchor. If you're new to that anchoring technique, that can be really, really helpful. Whee! Nice. Well done. Help yourself to some hydration. I'm going to go and turn our desert floor off because it's toasty on my toes. Wow, 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 wow. Amazing. So those are some of the real gorgeous serpentine movements that we've got within the belly dance repertoire. So the other thing that you have alongside those smooth serpentine movements is you have staccato movements. So these are the ones that really punctuate things. And we did one last time. It was a drop of the hip. So you're going to use the bend of the knee to act as a lever for that movement. So you're releasing your hip down to the ground through the bend of the knee. So here's this element again of being soft but strong at the same time. You need to be relaxed enough through your hips and your waist to allow the hip to drop to the ground. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, drop. And then you can use that activation through your upper abs, in between your shoulder blades, the front and back of shoulders. Woo! And you'll notice that when you use that anchoring technique and when you're strong in your basic stance to begin with and your pelvic floor is activated, your weight is centered. So we're not kind of coming out like this with that movement. We've activated strength through target muscles and we've relaxed through other ones. So strong through core muscles and anchoring muscles. That basic stance. Soft and relaxed through the hips, through the knees, and through the waist, allowing the hip to release. Here we go. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, 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 drop. Woo! If we pick up the tempo, it turns into shimmy. It feels delicious. Whee! You're going to feel that release through your belly, your thighs, your glutes, and possibly other areas too. We're going to take that onto a single leg now. So we stepped onto a single foot. And that back leg, that supporting leg, has a huge bend through it. This one is placed. And we're going to sit on top. Yes? So we're in alignment all the way through. And your hips are in neutral, so it's not here like this. is tucked under. So use pelvic floor muscles to help you with that, and a little bit of low abs as well. And bring the anchoring muscles into play with your upper half. Woo! Take it to the other side. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take it right. Back into center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shimmy 2, 3, 4. Shimmy to left. Woohoo! Wow, look at you. Drop. 2, 3, 4. Shimmy. 2, 3, 4. Again. Drop. 2, 3, 4. Shimmy. 2, 3, 4. Drop. 2. Try a shimmy. Shimmy. 2, 3. Other side. Drop. 2, 3, 4. Shimmy. 2, 3, 4. Wow, that was amazing. So tonight then, let me leave this on for now. Tonight then, what we're adding to our belly dance repertoire now, right now, you had a little flavor for it a moment ago. We actually utilized it as a functional movement to warm up the front and back of shoulders. It's another kind of staccato movement. It's a shoulder shimmy. And so for the shoulder shimmy, you really, really want to make sure that you're in neutral through your shoulder joint. Not only is that going to be ensuring that you are bringing vitality and well-being throughout your whole system, but it's also going to ensure that the movement sits right on your upper half. So you're not limiting yourself in any way in terms of range of motion. So what you're going to be doing is, again, a horizontal movement, just like we did with figure of eight, just like we did with circle and slide. It's a horizontal movement, so it's parallel with the floor once more. So just bring one shoulder forwards and then bring it back into center. Bring it back and bring it back into center. This time, on the other side of the body, you can allow the other side of the body, they're attached, as we know, and so it's going to want to move anyway. So what you can actually do is allow that to form the other half of the movement. So we're going to be alternating one shoulder forwards, one shoulder back. Bring it back through center. Other side, one shoulder forwards and one back. Here we go. Let's try a little bit faster maybe. Here we go. And forwards, back. Forwards, back. Forwards, back. Forwards, back. Forwards, back. Forwards, back. A couple of the things that tend to happen in this movement in new dancers, but also dancers who've been dancing a long time can build, I'll say bad habits. This one kind of would be considered a bad habit because it can shorten the muscles of the neck if you do this over time, this particular thing I'm about to mention. So as you bring the shoulder forwards and back, try to remember the reason we used it to activate front and back of shoulders. We want to target front and back of shoulders only. So over time, medial deltoid can come into action as well. It can be activated and raised up like this. And it changes the entire movement, not only the appearance of it, but what it does for your body, for your mind. So there's a huge amount of I suppose well-being psychology that comes from the positioning of our shoulders. And so this chest open in your basic stance and literally just coming forwards and back, it can leave you with a really uplifting feel. But if we actually start to bring in this movement here for too long, and this rounding of shoulders, it can have quite a closing down effect on the well-being. And so we want to be lifting the spirits. Lift your spirits with that movement. So just the front and back of shoulders. There might be specific times in your dance experience that you want to utilize in a lift and lower, and that's totally fine. But purely on a building your relationship with the repertoire of movements within belly dance. You want to just be mindful of that. And so we can start to build up the tempo of that movement. We don't take anything out, we just make that a little bit faster. And it's forwards and back, forwards and back, forwards and back. And what you'll find is that your body takes over and you kind of create your own momentum with that movement. Whee! And it can kind of feel a bit unusual at times because us women, thanks to the Victorian era, we're very used to being strapped down. If something moves, you must strap it down. But this is an opportunity to really release, to feel free and empowered. And also, it just feels lovely, doesn't it? It feels lovely, and it's actually a release for your lymphatic system. So you're releasing toxins through your system. All around the outside of your breast, you have these lymph nodes that drain toxins from your body, and the only way that they can work is through movement. So, hey, if you ever needed a reason for a shoulder shimmy, that is it right there. Woo! Woo! So we can add that shoulder shimmy. You're gonna feel that tone in your arms, right? I know, let's bring them down. We can place that with the drop of the hips. So what we then got is this vertical movement of hips and a horizontal movement through the shoulders. 2, 3, 4, drop. 2, 3, 4, shoulders, 2, 3, 4, drop. Let's pick up the hips next time into shimmy as well. Here we go. Shimmy, 2, 3, 4, shoulders, 2, 3, 4, hips, 2, 3, 4, shoulders, 2, 3, 4, hips, 2, 3, 4, shoulders, 2, 3, 4, hips, 2, 3, 4. Woohoo! Well done, wow. Help yourself to some hydration and join me for a lovely cool down stretch. My goodness, well, was that half an hour already? Oh, not quite, we have actually got a little, oh, no. I was right the first time. Oh. We had a little technical issue at the beginning which has thrown me off slightly timing wise. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little spot of DJing here. That was amazing. Well done. Well done. You'll be feeling strong and relaxed. Lots of gorgeous technique in there tonight. Really, really nice. And just progressing on with your learning. You can really feel that building now, can't you? So let's come into our basic stance. Spreading out through the toes. Sweeping relaxation up through low legs, bend through knees, upper legs, tuck the hips under, lift through your rib cage. Your shoulders forwards and up, back and down. Into alignment through the spine, crown of the head to the sky, tailbone to the ground, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, sink down deeper and deeper into rest. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, let's send some of that warming, positive, healing energy all the way through one side of you. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, let's sweep all the way through the other side, all the way down to the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. Breathing in here. And as you breathe out, we can take this big wide stance, a bend through knees, and lifting upwards to the sky. And in here, you can gently sway through to one side, swaying like the branches of trees. Keep your chest nice and open so that you receive a gorgeous stretch through your waist. This is lovely to do at any time, but particularly nice after lots of the movements that we did tonight. Let's take that cross once more. Back to center and cross to the other side. And into center. And in at center. So we did lots of gorgeous things for hips today, and also really working through muscles of legs as well. So let's bring one heel back, bring this foot forwards. Today an option to bring your foot a little bit further forwards if that feels right for you. You're going to bend through that front leg. Try to keep a 90-degree angle, keeping your knees behind your toes. We're going to bring the hips in neutral there. Use pelvic floor muscles. And we're releasing through the front of that hip where the leg is extended backwards. And you can use something as a support if you'd like to. You can bring your hands out to the side. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, we can lift through that heel and step your foot to meet the other. And from here, we're going to just bring our heel up towards our glute. Bring your knees in together. You can do this one against a wall or holding onto the back of a chair. Tuck your hips in neutral. Use pelvic floor muscles and bring the hips forwards. Then you can bring that foot closer into you. Activates your glutes there as well. Takes that to deeper stretch. Deep breath in, and as you breathe out, we can gently release that. Make sure it's nice and gentle as you release. On the other side, we're going to step the other foot back. Press that heel into the ground. Toes facing the same direction. Your hips in alignment with toes. Tuck the hips under. Use pelvic floor muscles to do that. Relax your back. Extend through that back leg once more. And tonight the option, if you'd like to, you can sink deeper in there for deeper releasing stretch all the way through the front of your leg as well. Always lovely to release afterwards. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, you can gently lift the heel and step that foot to meet the other one. Again, you can balance against something if you wish. We're going to lift our heel to our glute, bring the knees into alignment. Tuck the hips under, push them forwards, bring that foot in towards you. Well done. Take a deep breath here. And this one really gorgeous for releasing both hip flexors and your thighs. As you breathe out on your next breath out, we can return the foot down towards the ground. And coming in, placing one hand on sacred life force energy space, inner womb space, one hand on heart space. Take a moment to notice how you feel now. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna turn the music down and unmute everybody. Wow.